Hey, welcome to another yoga class. Coming straight to you, whether you are in your home, your living room, your kitchen, the bedroom, no matter where you are, I'm here to bring you some yoga, okay? You need it. You truly need it. I'm serious. More than likely, you stand all day or you sit all day. Either way, it's a sedentary lifestyle, and we can't have that for you. We can't have you with a sore back. We can't have you with a busted knee. We cannot have you with a crook in your neck for most of the day. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to provide a service for you. I'm here to create benefits for you. And I'm also here to spread the love and spread the positivity, to spread the wonders that yoga brings. So let's get started. Find something comfortable. Find your mat if you have one. If you don't have one, don't worry. Don't worry. You can always go to Walmart, Target, get something cheap, maybe Marshalls. Yeah, and just start slow. Start wherever you're at, and let's get started. Like I said, get something comfortable, get your mat, or you can do it on the carpet or a blanket, and let's go from there. So we'll start where most yoga classes start. So we're gonna start in child's pose. Bring your knees on the outside edges of the mat. If you have sensitive knees, just beware, listen to the body. Place your toes together, big toes together, and just sink back toward the heels. Maybe if you have a block, you can place it underneath or some blankets that can give you more leverage so you don't come all the way down. Well, like I said, listen to your body. And we're just going to come to child's pose. Take your time getting there. You can rest on the forearms or you can extend all the way forward, dropping your head toward the mat. And just breathe for a moment. If you're doing this after work, just take some time to decompress. Listen to your breath, notice it. Notice some of the sounds outside your room or the space that you're in. Just find a little bit of relief, decompress. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Again, breathe in through the nose. Let it out through your mouth. Last time, deep breath in and deep breath out through the mouth. And as we practice today, try to breathe in and out through the nose. I will direct you if I want you to breathe out of the mouth. If you find it troubling to strictly just breathe out of the nose, that is completely fine. Can't have you over here not breathing. See if you can sink a tad bit more toward the heels. Good. And slowly come on up to all fours. Keep pressing down equally through the hands. Release the tops of your feet on the mat. And keep breathing. Just find the breath. Find the breath. Continue decompressing. Start to bring the senses inward. So your eyes, your ears, and start to notice the breath. On your inhale, cow. Look up with the eyes and the head. Press your stomach toward the mat. Exhale, press away from the mat, pressing down through the hands. Curl the spine. Come into cat. And again, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Two more just like that. Press down to the hands. Look up with the eyes. Drop the stomach. And exhale, press away. Curl the spine. Nice. And just come back to neutral. Take any movements that come to mind right now. Maybe you sway the hips side to side. You know, when you're a yoga teacher, sometimes words just don't work. All right, words just don't work. But it's okay. We'll get through it. We'll make it. Sway the hips side to side. Maybe rock forward and back to loosen up the wrist. Shout out to the keyboard warriors. Sending all those emails. Gonna come back to neutral. I'll face you. You can stay where you are. We're gonna do a little bit of wrist work just to open up the bottom parts of the hand, tops and sides of the wrist. So just rock side to side, left to right. Keep pressing down through the hands. And again, I'm facing you so you can see me. Good, and rock forward and back. See if you go a little bit further this time than the first time we did it. And come back. Keep breathing and coming back. You know, yoga can be intimidating, especially if you're seeing classes or Instagram influencers or whoever doing these intense poses where they seem like they have no bones, to be honest. A lot of flexibility, but that does not equal yoga, okay? That does not equal yoga. You can take your time, breathe, and have slow movements, and you're just doing this. You're doing the same yoga as they are, okay? And let's come back to neutral. With your right hand, point it toward the right side of the room. With your left hand, point it toward the left side of the room. And same thing, rock forward and back. Forward and back, open up the wrist. Keep finding the breath. And let's go side to side. So left to right, right to left. And so you should have gone to each side about 2 times now. So once you go back to the right side, let's just hold it here on the right side for a moment. 2 breaths on the right side as you lean into that right wrist. Keep the arm straight. Last breath. Good. Back to center. Inhale. Exhale. Let's lean over to the left side. Hold it there. Feel the stretch down the sides of the left arm. You can feel it in the top of the wrist. Last breath. Good, and back to neutral. And if you can point the hands towards you, so you're turning the hands all the way around, fingers facing the body, and just hold it here for a moment. No sudden movements, especially if you've never done this before. If you have, you can slowly and gently rock forward and back just to really open up the inner parts of that forearm. Same with the wrist. Good, and coming back all the way around. And just doing a couple swirls, circles with the wrist. Shake it out. Good, and I'm gonna face this way now, the way you are, so that we can get into a little bit more movement. Find the breath, couple breaths here. Keep pressing down equally through the hands. Curl the feet, okay? Curl the feet. Sink back toward the heels. And drop the head, and you should feel the toes opening up, toes being stretched. And let's come back up. Keep the toes curled underneath. Inhale. Exhale, lean back. So you're kind of coming into a child's pose once again, but you're not coming all the way down. We're focusing on the toes here. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, sink back to the last one. Good. Inhale. And exhale. Stay here. And on your next inhale, we're going to come up to downward facing dog. So when you're in downward facing dog, you're simply just going to lift on up with the toes, shoot the hips back. And when you're ready, pop it on up to downward facing dog. You want to have a strong base with the hands, pressing down through the fingertips, wide hands. Pedal out the feet. Really reach the hips back toward the wall behind you. Point your gaze between the toes if you can access it, or you can point your gaze toward the navel. And again, if you can access it. Good. And slowly come down to child's pose. Both knees on the outer edges of the mat. Sink back toward the hips and drop the forehead to the mat. Release the tension or the hold that you may have in the forearms and the hands. For this child's pose, don't press down to the hands, just relax and rest the arms. If you're new to yoga, downward facing dog tends to be a little bit more difficult for those of us who are new. But as you continue to practice downward dog, I promise you, downward dog turns into a resting pose. When you practice day after day, month after month, you begin to build that upper body strength to hold downward facing dog for 5 to 10 breaths. And the pose begins to open up to you. And it feels good. It feels good throughout the whole body. The back of the legs, the calves, the ankles, same with the upper back and the upper body. So downward facing dog, you're really gonna open up the body and feel the benefits right away. So inhale, come all the way up to all fours, stacking the hands underneath the underneath the elbows. Good. And we're gonna come up to downward facing dog one more time. Curl the toes. Inhale. Exhale, lift on up to off the knees. Extend the hips back. Reach the heels down toward the mat. If your heels are up, don't worry about it. And point your gaze between the toes. You don't want to be too wide in downward facing dog because it becomes really uncomfortable. So if you feel like you're wide, I trust your judgment. Just bring the hands in a little bit closer, maybe the feet just a tad, and find a little bit more comfort in downward facing dog. You don't want to be too tight and you don't want to be too wide apart. Breathe in. Exhale, come on down to the knees. Exhale, good. And we're gonna come over to a seated position. Extend both legs out in front of you. And we're just gonna do a seated forward fold here. So we work the back sides of the legs and the upper body. So with the seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana, you're going to really open up the hamstrings. You'll feel it a little bit in the back of the neck. So inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. And exhale, fold forward. You can place the hands and arms on the sides of the legs. You can catch the toes. Peace fingers can catch the big toes. Or you can reach for the sides of the feet. But wherever you are, keep a erect spine. Lean forward. You don't really want to round too much in the back. So wherever you are, that is perfectly fine. Point your gaze toward the toes. Keep pressing down through the legs so you're making contact with the hamstrings and the calves on the mat. And if you need to bring a little bit more comfort, if you're really tight in the back of the legs, you can bend the knees just a tad bit, and you can make a connection between the tops of the legs, the quads, and your chest. Lean forward and do it this way. Sometimes I get a cramp right here when I do it that way. That's why I don't do it too often. But like I said, if you get a cramp, if you get something, just pull back and adjust. Couple more breaths here. In seated forward fold, again, you're working the back sides of the legs. If you can bring your chin to the chest, you'll feel it in the back of the neck. Focus on the breath, breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the nose as well. Last few breaths. If you want a little bit more challenge, through your exhale, see if you can find a little bit more space. Good, and slowly come on out of it. Coming down to the back, stack your knees over the ankles. On your inhale, drop your knees toward the right side of the room. Just drop them. They may not come all the way down, but that's fine. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, drop the knees on the left side. Exhale, back up. 2 more times each side. Inhale, drop the knees to the right. Exhale, back up. And again, inhale, drop the knees over to the left. And back up. Last time on the right, drop the knees. Back to center. And left side, last time, drop the knees. And back to center. Inhale, grab both knees, grab the tops of the shins, squeeze the knees into the chest. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Keep pressing down through the low back. And again, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Last one here. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let it go. And extend both legs out in front of you to take rest in Shavasana. Both hands, palms facing up. Allow the feet and the legs just to lay where they are. Maybe they drop outwards. Slowly bring the eyes closed if you feel comfortable. I know sometimes when I work the low back and I'm a little bit more tight than usual, you may feel a little bit of pulling on the low back as you lay down here. So if you need to move and get out of Shavasana for a little bit, feel free to go to Child's Pose. That's what I usually do if I feel a little tightness in my low back. You can go to Child's Pose, stay there for a few breaths, and then come back to Shavasana to take rest. And just relax the middle of the eyes, relax the face, relax your shoulders down to the hips, the knees and the feet. And just allow the body to fall into the mat. You really want to make sure after each yoga class you do take Shavasana. I know, especially in this fast-paced world, you want to skip and just get out. I get it. But let's be honest, where do you have to go? Nowhere. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go anywhere. Just take a breath, take a moment, relax. You deserve this time. And I'll let you breathe for about 20 seconds here without me talking. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. If your mind starts to wander, just go back to the breath. And when you're ready, you can roll over to the right side of your body. Take a breath in. Exhale, let it out through the mouth. Pressing on up to a seated position. Bringing the eyes closed or keeping the eyes shut, placing the hands on the knees. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Big breath in, inhale. Exhale, let it out through the nose. 2 more just like that. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in through the nose deep. Exhale through the mouth, let it out. Great practice today. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Namaste to all of you. Come back for some more classes. I'll have them ready for you. But feel free to go back to the beginner classes that I've already posted. If you have not taken them, feel free any point, any time of the day. They're amazing. And have an amazing day. Have an amazing evening. And we'll see you soon.